And it was actually someone that rented out bouncy castles, which was the first alarm bell I didn't notice.
What have you got against people that rent out?
No, nothing against people that rent bouncy castles, but
we're just a couple of business anchors. Welcome to the Business Anchors podcast. This jingle is slightly too long.
So the first lesson, Lloyd, this is actually a really important one, is about qualifying in sales. And I want to tell you a story. So you would have heard this story before, but a brief story. Back when we started the business, one of the things we used to do a lot was going out networking. One of our first I think our first ever podcast episode was about
episode 1.
Weird shit that happens when you go out networking.
Iconic.
Definitely listen to that. The production value is a lot worse than it is now, but the information is still good. We're a lot more nervous talking, but it's still good. And one of the things is networking. And when I was out networking, I met this lady at this breakfast that said, you pass leads to each other, basically. I've got an opportunity for you. And some people just make up leads each week and it's annoying. But this lady said to me, I've got this lead, this bloke I spoke to, he wants help with marketing and you do Facebook. I think that's what she said. You do Facebook. That was like, well, how good we were at communicating what we did. So we did Facebook. So she put me in touch with this guy who was in Maidstone. And I messaged him. I think he wanted me to WhatsApp him or whatever. And I said, let's meet up and I can talk about stuff. And he gave me some information. I spent about 5 hours preparing for this meeting because it was one of the first ones we were doing and like over preparing. Drove to Maidstone, met him, ended up having a chat, and it got into the conversation of budget. And it was actually someone that rented out bouncy castles, which was the first alarm bell I didn't notice.
What have you got against people that rent out?
No, nothing against people that rent bouncy castles, but just unless you're one of the biggest bouncy car rental places.
Like you had something against bouncy
No,
castles.
nothing against bouncy castle people. And when he got to budget, he had a £50 budget. And bear in mind, I spent 5 hours prepping, the fuel there and back, probably made up about £50 or more, which comes on to my point here. The thing I got wrong in that point years ago, very naively, was I didn't effectively qualify that opportunity.
What do you mean by qualifying the opportunity, just for the anchors?
So qualifying an opportunity is all about understanding, is this an opportunity worth pursuing? Is it worth my time? Do they fit a certain amount, a certain set of criteria that it's worth me pursuing? Do they have a problem that I solve? Are they the decision maker? There's a whole range of different things.
Right.
And one of the books I've just finished reading last night, Lloyd, which I've mentioned in a few episodes, is a book called Medic, which is a qualifying framework, an acronym that outlines certain criteria you need to tick to qualify someone. Highly recommend anyone who's looking to improve their qualification framework to go and I won't go into too much detail, but go and check out that book. It's really, really good. And the one quote, like you get one key takeaway from a book. The one quote that I really impacted me and was the best takeaway was the thing that Andy White says, the author. He says, nobody ever regrets qualifying out. Why can't I say regrets?
You struggle with that one.
Nobody ever regrets qualifying out. And what he means by that is a lot of people in sales, and I can resonate with this, when you're selling, if someone's shown some level of interest, you constantly want to chase it and spend your time chasing them up. Are you interested yet? But a lot of those opportunities don't fit the criteria. So you should qualify them out and not chase them up and then move on to new opportunities where they do meet more of the qualifying criteria.
A lot of people in business would be thinking, well, that's a missed opportunity. Like, why wouldn't you be following up with every opportunity? Like there's the chance that this person is going to buy from you. Yeah. Why would you not follow up every opportunity?
Well, you do follow up with every opportunity, but you follow the stage one is the qualification stage where you ask a set of questions very briefly to really gauge, are they serious about working with me? Do they have a problem I can solve? Are they the decision maker? Do they have a budget? So there's a whole set of criteria. There's another book called Gap Selling by a guy called Keenan, which again is one of my favorite sales books, which talks about an even...
Did you say by a guy called Keenan?
Yeah.
Is that just his first name?
His name's Keenan, and he refers to himself as Keenan.
Oh, he's just like he's like Seal.
Yeah.
On Madonna.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought like weird you're talking about this author like you're mates with him.
No.
Oh yeah, just Keenan.
No, Keenan's his name.
Okay.
And so yeah, it is all about qualifying. And something I did in July after reading these books was I started to be a lot stricter with who I was qualifying out. So I'd ask a set of questions and figure out, is it an opportunity worth pursuing? And if it was, I'd continue. If not, I wouldn't. And I think all the anchors listening should do this more, to answer your question, why don't you continue following up with lots of opportunities? If you think you've only got a finite amount of time and energy in your day and in your week, don't you want to spend that time engaging with the most lucrative opportunities that are most likely to convert into customers rather than...
you could have 10 opportunities to pursue. You could spend 10% of your time on each of those opportunities, and maybe you don't even have that much time. So a few might fall off because you might not have the time. Or you could be like, right, 6 of these actually have qualified out. It doesn't, and when I've asked those questions, it doesn't seem like it's going to be worth my time following up. I'm focusing on these 4.
Yeah.
It's going to be much more worth it for me to put more time into these 4.
Yes. Yeah. So as an action anchors, please go and read Gap Selling and the book called Medic. Really, really great if you're looking to improve your sales and qualification process. Just before you go, we want to take a second to talk about our podcast sponsors, Adobe Express. Adobe Express enables anyone to quickly and easily create standout social graphics, logos, flyers, banners, and more on the web and mobile. There are so many amazing features and benefits to using Adobe Express. You can choose from thousands of beautifully designed templates to inspire you and get started. You can quickly remove a background, convert JPEG to PNG, videos to GIFs, merge videos, change video speeds, and more. Apply your brand to your content in just a tap and collaborate with your colleagues through shared templates and libraries. You'll also get access to the entire diverse, royalty-free Adobe stock photo collection created by the world's best professionals and choose from over 20,000 licensed Adobe fonts, as well as their collection of curved typesets, grids, and exquisite font pairings. You can apply standout photo effects in seconds, discover easy bite-sized tips to get you started on the Learn tab, or connect on one of their creator community spaces to stay close to our team and fellow users. Now that's a lot of features to get your teeth into. Click the link in the description of the episode to give Adobe Express a go today, and we'll see you next week.